As you will remember, in the elementary course, we used a single menu called Polymer menu. Through this, we were able to generate a side drop-down from which we accessed all the windows we had created and linked to the menu. We already know how to configure a menu. What we'll do now is add group list, a menu with which we will be able to show all the elements to which it links occupying the whole screen as a list. To take our application as an example, why not, instead of showing in the side menu of Polymer type the name of all the cards, we put there a button that says Animals, so it will take us to a single screen that lists them. It's a logical action, since we want our Polymer menu to be as simplified as possible. Imagine the enormous list that would appear here if in the future we want to add more animal cards. It is better to concentrate this list in a single screen. To do this, go to the Modules window of our app and click on Add Menu. There, we choose Group List. Unlike other menus where we have to insert each of the modules in its box so that they are contextualized in the corresponding menu, in this menu won't be necessary. This is because this menu is actually a screen made up of buttons that lead us to the other modules and nothing else. The screens to which they are aimed can be contextualized in another menu, as in the Polymer, where we'll leave them even if they are not accessible from the drop-down menu. The first thing we will do is to put the group list itself inside our Polymer menu so that this one has the context of being inside our main menu. In the same way, we'll access the configuration of the Polymer menu, the menu that we already configured it in the previous course, and we will replace the first animal by group list. We delete the rest of animals because from now on we'll access their cards through group list. Ready? Let's go back to the Modules window, and there we access the group list configuration. Let's change the name to Animals because this will be the denomination that will be seen in the main menu. You remember how we added new screens accessible from a menu? Click on the button Add another item to the menu as many times as we want objects in our menu, in this case 4, and we can add all the different screens we want to send from here: lion, giraffe, elephant, and zebra. We press Save, we go to Modules, and then we mark this menu as Main to see what has happened. As you can see, we have a screen in which the 4 buttons appear corresponding to the 4 animals that we have added. We click on some of them and observe that, indeed, we accede to the card of the animal in question. Let's personalize this screen a bit. To begin, we can modify the color of each one of the cells linked to an animal. We access to modify group list, and here, in background color, we can write the name of the color that we want in English. For example, red, yellow, or purple. We save to see. We can also enter colors into our cell using hexadecimal or RGB code. For example, red is like this. If we write that code in Google, we will get a panel from which we can generate our own colors. We move through the different controls to see how we immediately get the code in both formats. We take this green, for example, and copy the RGB in our cell. We go back to the color selector. We choose this orange and copy the hexadecimal. I stick it in my cell and check that it works. On the other hand, we can also load images instead of a flat color. We can change the background for a texture, like the one I have in this image. Just copy the URL and paste it into the corresponding cell. If you fill both image and color fields, the app will display the image by default. I will use the following set of colors. In relation to the way in which the union between cells is shown, you can check that there's a small line here, in my case white, since the background of the app in the Customize section is of this color. We can eliminate this line and make that the blocks are totally united, lowering here to margin and introducing 0px, equivalent to 0 pixels of distance. You will be able to play with the distance between cells, varying the values as you need. I will leave 0px. Choose whether or not to display the text or title of the button, whether or not to display the description, which if so, you will enter in the second cell of each element. You can also decide whether or not to display the icon of each module, which, as you will remember, was included in the configuration of each specific module. Although for the moment we'll leave the menu like this, in the last chapter of this course we will return with the advanced configuration options to make some retouches.